Will Campbell to the Patriots is a bad move because though they definitely need offensive line help, Campbell has just 32.5-inch arms when the minimum for a tackle is 33. He's also not very fluid, so he projects more as an interior offensive lineman. He should be very good day one, but I just would have much rather had Armand Membu or Tet McMillan because Membu is a guaranteed tackle, and McMillan would be far and away the best receiver in the newly reformed receiving room that includes Stephon Diggs. So I would have passed on Campbell, even though he is a very talented player. He's just not at a premium position, and he should be ready day one, but that's about it. I was solidly high on slot receiver Colston Loveland, but the Bears make me look like an absolute hater of him because they really reached to draft him at number 10. The issue with him is he plays as a big slot, which is the least valuable receiving position, aside from running back, of course, but he's not big enough to be a true tight end. He is a very smooth and great athlete. He has some Travis Kelsey esque routes from time to time. He's not quite as aware as Kelsey is, but who is. The issue is Tyler Warren is a true tight end that they could have taken. Michael Williams would have been a great edge. I just don't like the value for Loveland, even if he is a very talented slot. This one might get me in some hot water, but Ashton Genty was a terrible pick for the Raiders at number 6. He is very explosive and is a major big play threat with very good balance and vision. He's also basically impossible to tackle. So, what's the downside? Well, he plays running back, the least valuable full time position. And wide receiver might just be the most important that isn't quarterback. And Ted McMillan was right there for the taking for the Raiders. He would have paired so nicely with Jacoby Myers on the inside, as McMillan would be the big physical wide receiver on the outside, whereas Myers is more of the refined slot. And he would have really completed this offense that has Brock Bowers as well. Genty is truly a great player. He just plays a very low value position. Defensive tackle Walter Nolan really hits a need for the Cardinals because their interior has been very weak for countless years, basically. And they might have rookie first round pick from last year, Robinson, coming back, which could help really solidify the interior. But my problem with Nolan is even though he was a player of need, he's a great run defender with pass rush upside. He has good power and some moves. He just wasn't the best player that they could have taken. Emeka Egbuka would have been much more needed at a more valuable position. Jade Barron would have been a very useful pick. And even sticking with defensive tackles, I would have much rather had Derek Harmon, who's a great pass rusher, but a little bit less of a run defender. So I'm not huge on this pick for the Cardinals. In fact, I'm rather low on it. Oh, the lost art of drafting high value positions with great picks, because Amarion Hampton to the Chargers is simply despicable, as Hampton at 6'1", 220 is a great build for a running back. He also has a lot of power and explosiveness, and he can generate a ton of big plays, which is just the lifeblood of a good offense nowadays. The problem is he plays the least valuable starting position, and Matthew Golden would have been a perfect selection for the Chargers who don't have a good receiving room. James Pierce would have offset the aging of Khalil Mack. Malachi Starks would have been a great selection as a do it all chess piece on defense, sort of in the Derwin James mold, but a little bit more coverage oriented. I hate this pick for the Chargers. Especially with Najee Harris being on an affordable deal, I think this is just terrible. Gray Zabel marks the first interior offensive lineman drafted by Seattle in any of our lifetimes. And the issue is he's an interior offensive lineman. He has 32-inch arms, which isn't big enough to meet the 33-inch arm threshold for tackles. He is a great player. I don't disagree with that. He's an A1 athlete that's great for wide zone, but can also do power running. So he is a scheme proof player, which is very rare. He's also good in pass protection. So he's very well rounded, very good at what he does. My issue, though, is this is a very low value position, and higher value positions with great players available include Jade Barron at corner, which could have given the Seahawks arguably the best defense in the league if he pans out. Matthew Golden to give them a real outside receiver, so Marquez Valdez Scantling doesn't have to play because he's not good at football. This is a good player, but a low value position. With one of the most inexplicable picks in this entire draft, the Lions took Tyleek Williams at number 28. Williams is a strong and explosive player that's elite in run defense, but is severely lacking as a pass rusher. Defensive tackle is also a position where the Lions are very well set at, one of the many positions they have a ton of talent at. So this is very confusing. They could go four deep at defensive tackle before this pick, and they draft a guy that has a low value role. I would have much rather had Maxwell Harrison here because Harrison fits another position of need, which is corner, and he has a ton of upside, but it's just a much more valuable position than, run defending interior. I don't understand this pick. No one had Williams going even early in the second, so taking him in the first is just very inexplicable. Jerry Jones is back on his BS, selecting Tyler Booker at 12, not even 21, 12. This is so bad. He is a player that's good in power runs, but not zone blocking, so he's already a little bit limited. He's a good run blocker, but he peaked as PFF's number 52 guard, and he doesn't appear to be somebody that has a lot of untapped potential. I do realize that guard and offensive line as a whole is a need for the Cowboys, especially with Zach Martin retiring. Right now, the only pass protector you could feel good about is Tyler Smith, which is unfortunate because he's also a guard. But the value is simply not there. For a guard to be taken this highly, they have to be great. He is not. Kenneth Grant would have made much more sense. The Cowboys need some help on the interior. Tyler Warren would give them a real weapon on offense, and Walter Nolan would have been another defensive tackle option that they could have selected. This is a terrible pick for Dallas. In an unsurprising turn of events, another reach at guard bears no fruit for the team selecting the guard far too highly, as Donovan Jackson at number 24 is just horrible value. He should be able to start day one. He has that going for him. He has 2.5 years of guard experience and half a year at tackle, so he projects more than likely as a guard. He can play both zone and gap schemes, which is nice, but he is a poor true pass blocking lineman, so that hurts his value. And Malachi Starks would have just made much more sense as a higher value positional player at safety and also a much better player. So this is a really bad selection for the Vikings. Jackson is the type of fine guard you find all the time in the third round. So to take him in the first is just very confusing, especially when there's a good player like Starks available at a position of need. I think anyone that knows the Giants or even just overarchingly the NFL as a whole realized that after securing Abdul Carter wisely, the Giants were due to return to their old ways, and selecting quarterback Jackson Dart 25th, in doing so needing to trade up as well, is definitely the worst pick of the first round. He has a decent arm and is a decent athlete. He's gotten better every year, but he's far from playing in an NFL offense with Lane Kiffin's gimmicks. And even still, he wasn't that great in college. He also doesn't project to have a ton of upside because, as I mentioned, he's not super traitsy. In trading up, the Giants lost a third rounder in value and drafted a third round caliber quarterback. I would have much rather them taken Josh Connerly Jr. or Maxwell Harrison at positions of need, and that are just much, much better players. So this is a very bad move for the Giants, especially too because they're not even going to get the full benefit of drafting a rookie quarterback, which is having a cheap quarterback for 5 years, because Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, they're not both going to sit on the bench for Dart. And the Giants are sticking with Wilson anyways, seemingly by himself. So this is just really bad all around for the Giants and marks the worst move of the first. Those are my thoughts on the worst picks of day one. Be sure to let me know what yours are in the comment section. And also be sure to like and subscribe, as I'll be doing a lot more positive videos, such as the best picks of day 1 through 3 in the NFL, and also back to my negative ways with the worst picks of day 2 as well. Not really too many bad day 3 picks, because at that point the value is just not there to reach on anybody too much. But I will be covering this draft in very good detail. So make sure you're subbed for more, and thank you for watching.